is a brand new suspect for Jack the Ripper, the Phantom of Death, who terrorized London more than 100 years ago. He is an Irish-American outlaw who outfoxed Scotland Yard in London and New York.
This American was at large in London at the time of the murders. The police were seeking him at the height of the murders. He was arrested after the Miller's Court murder, at which time, of course, the murders ceased. He escaped from England in early December 1888 and got back to America and was never arrested by Scotland Yard, despite the fact that they sent a team of detectives to America to try and catch him.
A letter with an undisputed provenance is the source of this new information. The letter in question was written in 1913 by Chief Inspector John Littlechild of Scotland Yard to fellow criminologist George Sims.
To Littlechild's mind, he thought that this man could well be Jack the Ripper, and he's American, he's genuine, and we've got documentary evidence of his flight to America.
Self-proclaimed Dr. Francis Tumblety is more than likely the subject described by Littlechild.
Dr. Francis Tumblety, who was arrested in London 6 weeks ago on suspicion of being the Whitechapel murderer, arrived here by the steamship Britannia on Sunday under an assumed name, Dr. Frank Townsend.
Detectives were waiting for him on the dock, and they tailed him to an East 10th Street lodging house.
It is not known exactly when the doctor eluded his watchers. His landlady found his room empty. A half-open valise on the chair and a big pair of English cavalry boots were all that remained to tell the story of Dr. Tumblety's flight.
Tumblety used many aliases. He may well have chosen the name Blackburn to purposely align himself with an infamous Dr. Luke Blackburn, the staunch Confederate and instigator of nefarious plots during the time of the Civil War.
Dr. Tumblety, alias Blackburn, the person who was arrested in London a week ago as Jack the Ripper, was a well-known character in Brooklyn many years ago. In the 60s, he used to walk down the street in his uniform, accompanied by a big dog.
April the 16th, 1865. President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Tumblety, possibly mistaken as the infamous Confederate Dr. Luke Blackburn, was arrested. This was the report Colonel Baker gave Washington about their prisoner.
All his papers were examined. He has gained an extensive notoriety as an impostor and quack, but nothing was found in them lending to implicate him with the assassination.
Within a few weeks, he was released.
Washington, D.C., May 26, 1865. To the Honorable E.M. Stanton, Secretary of War. Sir, I have the honor to recommend the release from custody of F. Tumblety, prisoner now at the Old Capitol. Very respectfully yours, H.G. Burnett, Provost, Colonel, and Judge Advocate.
Tumblety wrote in one of his 3 published books, "I am the most well-known person in the entire city of Washington." Who exactly was the man who kept an entire city in mortal fear, and the rest of the world on pins and needles waiting for his capture, waiting for a name to be put to him?
Certainly as old as human society is. When you have a form of behavior that is so connected to the intimate details of childhood and family upbringing, so for as long as there have been children and families, there have probably been these kind of characters.
Jack the Ripper, the Phantom of Death. We don't really know who he was. We may never know, but we will speculate and wonder for another 100 years.